Imagine yourself drifting along the gentle flow of the Nile, the warm golden sun slowly setting behind the towering temples. The air is soft, the breeze tender, and the only sound you hear is the soft rustling of the papyrus along the riverbanks. Tonight, we're embarking on a serene journey tonight across the vast sands of time to explore the reigns of Egypt's most iconic rulers. Let's relax. Let's take a deep breath and feel the weight of the world melt away as we enter the peaceful world of the Pharaohs. Chapter 1: The Reign of Ramses II, the Great Builder. Our journey begins with Ramses II, often called Ramses the Great. Can you see him? A mighty figure with eyes that seem to see far beyond his time. His reign was one of the longest in Egyptian history, lasting 66 years. But here we won't rush through the facts. We'll glide through his story like the peaceful Nile. Picture Ramesses standing at the grand construction site of the temples at Abu Simbel. The sound of chisels tapping against stone echoes softly in the background as the sun warms the faces of the workers. Ramesses wanted these temples not only to showcase his greatness, but to bring harmony and protection to Egypt. Imagine the immense statues carved in his likeness, towering over the Nile, watching protectively over the people like a guardian of peace. Ramesses also faced battles, but let's not dwell on the wars today. Instead, imagine him seated on his throne after a famous battle of Kadesh, signing what is believed to be one of the world's first peace treaties with the Hittites. Feel the sense of calm as two powerful leaders set aside their weapons and shake hands, sealing a promise of peace and coexistence. Ramesses, strong yet compassionate, was not only a king, but a protector of balance. Chapter 2: Hatshepsut, the queen who became king. Now, we gently travel to a time when Egypt was ruled by a woman who wore the crown of a king. Close your eyes and picture Hatshepsut, a figure of grace and confidence. She wasn't just a queen, she declared herself Pharaoh and ruled Egypt for over 2 decades. She imagined herself as the daughter of the gods, and in her reign, she brought prosperity and peace to her people. Let's wander with her in the beautiful fragrant gardens of her temple at Tel Ebari. The temple, nestled against the cliffs of the Nile, shines with tranquility. In the quiet, the temple's columns seem to hum with stories of divine inspiration. Hatshepsut's reign was not filled with war. No. She was a visionary, sending out great expeditions to distant lands like Punt, bringing back treasures and perfumes. Imagine the excitement and wonder of her people as ships returned with myrrh trees and golden treasures. Hatshepsut's Egypt was a land of exploration and curiosity, where the calm flow of knowledge was as important as the Nile's waters. Chapter 3: Akhenaten, the rebel pharaoh. Our journey now takes us to one of Egypt's most mysterious rulers, Akhenaten, the pharaoh who changed everything. Under the twinkling night sky, we find Akhenaten staring up at the stars, filled with devotion to one single god, Aten, the sun disk. Akhenaten was not like other pharaohs. He believed in Aten as the only god. As he moved the entire capital of Egypt to a new city, Akhenaten, far away from the old ways of worship. It is here, under the warm and radiant sun, that we can feel Akhenaten's peaceful love for his family and his faith. He built his city not for conquest, but for devotion. Can you imagine the bright light of Aten shining down over the city, filling it with warmth and serenity? As we walk the quiet streets of Akhenaten, we see Akhenaten and his beautiful wife, Nefertiti, hands gently intertwined, watching the sunrise. Together, they believed in a world of peace and unity under the warmth of the sun. And in that world, there was no need for war. Chapter 4: Tutankhamun, the Boy King. Now let's glide gently into the life of Tutankhamun, the Boy King. He was only 9 when he became a pharaoh. His rule was short, but his story continues to whisper through the sands of time. Imagine him, a young boy, surrounded by the wise advisors of Egypt, tasked with bringing his people back to the old ways after his father Akhenaten's reign. Tutankhamun's life was one of mystery. The world remembers him not for great battles or monuments, but for the treasures found in his tomb. Now close your eyes and picture his golden mask, a symbol of youth, beauty, and eternal rest. His tomb, hidden in the Valley of the Kings for centuries, was a peaceful resting place, The chambers of his tomb were filled with the finest of gold, but also with serenity of eternal sleep. His story teaches us that even in the midst of uncertainty, there is a calm that follows. As we float gently down the Nile, with the soft glow of the moon reflecting on the water, we can see the legacy of these pharaohs, the builders, the visionaries, the dreamers, and the protectors. Each of them, in their own way, brought peace and balance to Egypt. Feel the gentle rhythm of the river, the calmness of their rains washing over you. Let the stories of Ramses and Hatshepsut, Akhenaten and Tutankhamun remind you that in history, as it is in life today, there are moments of stillness, peace, and tranquility. Let your mind rest like the great pharaohs in their eternal sleep, knowing that even the greatest of empires, calmness reigns supreme. Good night, and may the peaceful sands of ancient Egypt lull you into a restful, deep sleep.